Hello, I'm Charlotte Collins and welcome to the SheerLuxe Show. We have a fab show for you today with fashion, food, beauty and a little celebration in honour of next week's Jubilee. First up, it's panel with Lou and Polly and it's a Things We Love special. Trust me, you are going to love this one. Later, the gorgeous Danielle Lazenis is giving us some event dressing inspiration with the latest collection from Reiss. From weddings to parties, there are some killer looks. Adeola is here with all the tips and tricks you need to keep your makeup in place all day long, even during a heat wave. From clever products to handy hacks, she has all the wisdom you need. And finally, Sommer Pyne is showing us how to make 3 delicious salads to accompany any barbecue. Easy to throw together, they are perfect for entertaining this weekend. But first, it's a pretty special Things We Love. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Happy Jubilee week, month. I mean, we're not quite in the week yet, but we're nearly there.
We should be waving the British flag.
I know,
now.
instead we've got some mini ones.
Little tiny ones.
Look at this lovely spread. This has been very kindly sent to us by Cutter and Squidge,
Thanks,
who
Cutter and
are
Squidge.
excellent.
It smells so good. I can smell
No.
those chocolate brownies.
I can't really concentrate on anything else other than the fact I really, really want to eat it.
I know, I'm not sure at what point we dive in, maybe post Things We Love chat.
Okay.
So obviously, Things We Love, but we thought we'd give it a little British spin in honour of the Jubilee. So I want to know, what are the things, there's a lot of bad things about the UK, but what are the things that you love about being British? Lou, I'm going to come to you first.
Yeah, Polly and I were just saying this is hard, like when you've just come back from holiday and you're a bit like, boo, Britain. But when I do think about it, I am actually like, no, I'm really proud to be British. My number one is going to be Richard Curtis movies.
That's a good one.
Because I never watch a Richard Curtis film and don't be like, oh, my heart.
Yeah.
You know, whether that is About Time or Notting Hill or The Vicar of Dibley as well. Like he's just Love Actually as well. Like so many classic British films.
What's your favourite?
About Time.
I still haven't seen that.
Or 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
4 Weddings is kind of the most British film ever made,
Yeah.
really, isn't it? It's so English.
It's so brilliant.
What did you have a favourite Richard Curtis film?
I think it's just got to be Love Actually, doesn't it? I know that's a bit basic, but it is just really great. I
know.
Never
A
get
lot of people
bored.
really hate Love Actually.
Do they?
Yeah, I
Why?
know.
What's to
Weirdos.
hate?
I
Did
know.
you see that Richard Curtis' son got on stage with Dave at Coachella and like rapped the whole thing?
No.
How random was that? It turned out to be his son. Like it went viral, and then people were like, "That's Richard Curtis' son."
Hang on, I've seen that video with somebody rapping Dave and it's like crazy
it's
how he
not-
knows. It's not that one.
It's not the
That's Glastonbury.
original one. That was the Glastonbury
Yeah.
one. But he did the same thing at Coachella, pulled someone up, and he was just like, "Hi,
No
my name's
way.
Spike, and I'm from London." and it
way.
was Richard Curtis' son.
I feel like if this was a different group of people, Glastonbury might be in this list of things we love. However,
Yeah.
not this set. Lou, what else? What else makes you proud to be British?
My second one is tea and biscuits, specifically hobnobs.
Yeah.
Like that's another one of those things when, like, if I come back to the UK and it's raining, the only thing that like brings me comfort is tea and biscuits.
Okay.
And I think it's a very like,
Yeah.
oh, should we have a cup of tea? Like, you know, you think it's going to solve everything, a cup of tea.
There's like that 3 o'clock thing in every office around the
Yeah.
land
Yeah.
of, you know, tea, and I can't imagine that happens in other countries.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
I
sure
remember
there's a
actually
version
when
of-
I was interning in New York at 4 o'clock, I would say to anyone like, "Does anyone want a cup of tea?" And they literally like lost it that I like actually had tea at like
yeah, it's
4 o'clock.
actually a thing we do.
So yeah, tea and biscuits. Just think it's always a nice like comforting.
And is that a chocolate hobnob or a plain?
A chocolate hobnob. You just can't beat it.
No, I think I agree with you there.
I think I'd take a digestive over a hobnob.
Would you?
Ooh, interesting.
I would.
The amount of chats we've had about rating
Top
three
rating
biscuits.
biscuits.
Yeah.
I also very
chat.
rarely would go dark over light, but a dark chocolate hobnob is
Oh,
really something.
So good.
No?
I know that about you.
Yeah, well,
Feel kind
that's
of
like you
different
every day, don't you? Full of interesting facts about myself. Lou, what else? I'm jealous of your third one.
My third one is Strictly, of course.
Oh,
like it when you're sort of going into the depths of winter and you think, oh my God, like this is like dark nights, like Saturdays at home, and then you're like, but it's Strictly at home. It is just, it gives me like such a warm, fuzzy feeling, and I feel like everyone gets behind it,
Yeah.
and there's so much happiness that comes from Strictly, and yeah, it just makes you very proud to be British.
They
Good
also
unifier.
so fun, and they have it in other countries, but I feel like
it's different.
yeah, I feel like it's a lame reality show in other countries,
Yeah.
whereas here it's like
It's big.
it's big.
Yeah.
People respect it a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really miss it.
I know.
Yeah,
I miss it
I
too.
did.
Not that long to go.
No.
You also wanted to give a special shout out to
Yeah, to Waitrose. Just like, I don't know, when you go into Waitrose and just like walking around the aisles, I do most of my shopping online, but going into Waitrose.
Polly's dying.
brings
Is
me a
that
lot
because
of
this is the
joy.
most middle class list that has
Yeah,
ever existed
probably.
ever anywhere?
Just like all the things you could think of, Waitrose is in my top.
Yeah,
four.
and Polly and I were chatting the other day about like reasons to
live in the
live in the
UK.
UK, and I was like, yeah, Waitrose is really up
Yeah,
there.
yeah. No, I don't disagree.
No, I kind
don't
of respect it. It's great.
The new office has a Waitrose really nearby,
Great.
which
Thank
I'm
God.
actually thrilled about.
Great,
I know.
great.
I know. What's your number one Waitrose own product?
Ooh, tough.
To come back to
I'm
it, just gotta think about it.
I'm going to go in and
so
say
sad.
the Sea from Waitrose is literally the best.
Is it? Ooh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Waitrose
forget
or
M&S.
Waitrose or M&S?
No. Waitrose. Very
But
specifically.
like generally as a store, what would you go
Waitrose.
for? Yeah.
Okay.
When it left
Sorry about next
Ocado.
time.
Yeah,
Sad
sad
times.
times.
R.I.P.
Sorry, did you have an answer to that? Were you laughing because you thought of something really lame, or no?
Yeah, I'm actually not
Go
going
on.
to say
No.
it. I'm actually not going to say it. Let's go on to Polly.
Okay, we'll have to find out you for it afterwards. Right, Polly, I don't have yours written down. What are your favourite things about being British?
Okay, so like this is the hill I will die on, but I think no one does a packet sandwich like the Brits. Like I wouldn't buy a packeted sandwich anywhere else in the world, but you come back to the UK and there's something so comforting about getting an egg
Like
and
from
cress.
anywhere or just
Well,
the
like
fact that it's in a little
ideally you want it
cardboard
from
box?
like an M&S or whatever, but like even like a service station. They've got
Would
it all.
you?
Yeah.
Actually, when I was at uni, I would get a Boots meal deal every single day. I'm not sure I'd eat a Boots packet sandwich now,
Would you
but
not?
like, no, actually I would. Yeah, I would. Yeah, who do I think I am? Yeah, sure, I would. Yeah.
Like I don't get them every day, but there's something very like comforting about it, and like the sort of variety that you get, and like a lot of places, you know, you can get your baguettes and whatever. But what I want is like the crap bread,
Yeah.
either side of like
triangles.
triangles. That is what I want. You just can't get that anywhere else.
What's your favourite?
Oh, I think it's just egg and cress, which is really sad because I've just done food intolerance test and I'm allergic to like, well, I'm not allergic. I'm intolerant to egg white, which is so
no.
sad.
What a pity.
What a pity. So no more egg cress for me. But yeah, that or like just tuna cucumber.
That you lose me there.
Yeah.
It's not about
Oh,
a tuna
no.
sandwich. No,
I
sorry.
like all the really smelly sandwiches that are quite
Yeah.
antisocial.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
so-
I do think the M&S prawn. What is it? The best prawn sandwich ever is the name of the sandwich.
yeah.
It's also
It's
so
good.
affordable, that sandwich.
Yeah,
My
no,
mum always gets that.
It's that with a packet of crisps is like the most British, excellent.
Brown
like
bread,
yeah,
white
yeah.
bread.
brown. It's on brown bread.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a white bread.
Healthy.
Yeah, exactly. Good for you. Okay, Polly, I'm with you on that. Okay,
Yeah,
what's
thanks.
next?
Okay, so next for me is Hun culture, specifically Hun's Net. So I feel like most people are kind of familiar with Hun culture at this point, but if you're not, I feel like it's quite hard to describe succinctly, but it's anything from like jeans and a nice top and a secchi with the girlies to Agatha Christie. Do you know what I mean? It's all
Which
kind
is
of encompassing.
just so
you.
you.
So you.
I
If
absolutely
you told me
love
you were
it.
behind Hun's Net, I'd be like, of course you are.
To be
I
fair,
wish
we
I
we
was.
were briefly chatting about this off screen, and Polly was like, "Oh my god, guys, I met someone, and she knows the person who runs Hunstead."
I've
Great.
never been more like starstruck. Like,
Starstruck,
please
yeah.
introduce me because I love her work.
She's
She's
coming
doing
your
her
way.
work, please.
Give them a shout out.
Yeah, I
please.
literally, I just think it's absolutely genius, and it's probably my most liked Instagram account. You actually said to me a while ago, you're like, every time I check Hun's Net, you've already liked
Yeah,
it.
Polly's like always on it. And like, I
Every
think I've got there
single
first. I'm like, no, Polly's already been there. She's actually already posted it herself.
Yeah, it's just so good. So yeah, if you're not already on board with Hun culture / Hun's Net, get on board.
And that's proper British humour. Isn't
yeah.
it?
It also love of Huns as well. I think that's like the OG Instagram account, but Hun's Net kind of makes me laugh a lot.
You know who's also a massive fan? Sherry. You need to chat to her about it. She's like a proper Hun
Yeah,
culture
Sherry's
kind of
really
girl.
die hard, and I really respect that about her. And also Eloise behind the camera, she loves a bit of that as well. So
Thumbs up from
it's
Elle.
like when you find a kindred spirit who knows what you're talking about, you're like, yes, me and you.
It's like a Hun to another Hun.
Yeah.
I get it.
To another Hun. Actually, Eloise did buy me a Hun candle for Secret Santa one year.
Oh wow, it's a real Hun
yeah, I
connection.
know, we're really like on board with each other. So
Great.
yes, love that about British. I think it's very, very British. Yeah,
agree.
you don't really get that anywhere else.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And your third?
So I was going to say seasons, but I've changed my mind. I think we are very polite in the UK, and my brother lived in another country in Europe for a while, and like obviously had an amazing time. And I was like, God, Tobes, like, why would you come back? Do you really miss it? He's like, no. Do you know what? It makes you realise what's so good about the UK when you live other places, as much as it's great elsewhere. But he's like, people are really considerate here, and I think that's a really nice thing about our country.
think?
Yeah, like compared to other places, like people kind of, I don't know. Maybe we're a bit too apologetic sometimes, or we're like, oh no, I couldn't possibly. But I kind of like that about us.
Yeah.
You know, we don't expect too much of people.
No.
Yeah.
Or of yourselves either. And it's quite
It's very stressful when you go to a foreign country and there's like no queue etiquette. And
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
You know, we love a queue and are good at a queue.
Yeah.
And
Me too. I
that
love
kind
a
of
queue. I
thing.
love, you know, that kind of organisation. It makes me feel calm in myself, in my soul. So yeah.
know where you're meant to start.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are my three. What are yours,
Lovely.
Charlotte?
Okay, mine are. I'm going to start with the foodie thing because caterpillar cake is like the most unique to Britain thing as well. I've got two. I've got a bonus foodie one as well, but like there are a few things that these British supermarkets do so well that you literally cannot replicate anywhere else. Like a chocolate roly-poly from America is not going to come close to a caterpillar cake, is it? So, and I feel like it doesn't matter your kind of your age, your status. Like it's a unifying thing. A good caterpillar cake.
Imagine the amount of caterpillar cakes that have been in offices throughout the UK.
Exactly,
for
and also
birthdays.
like, and it's like you can have it every day, and you'd still be excited to see it. So. Classic Colin, not like the Sainsbury's version. Love Sainsbury's, but not a fake rip-off Colin. My second thing is also, it's a bit like Hunsnet, but I think there's been like a few kind of particularly, well, obviously we do comedy so well, and TV comedy, it kind of ties into the Richard Curtis thing, but there's been a few moments kind of throughout our comedy history that are just, again, feels so unique to Britain. So the thing that always sticks in my mind is when Catherine Tate, you know, her like, am I bothered thing, did that on Red Nose Day, and when Tony Blair was Prime Minister, and she did a scene where she met the Prime Minister, and Tony Blair turned around to her and said, am I bothered? I mean, look, there's a lot of things wrong with British politicians, but I love that we have a culture where the most senior people in the land will get involved, and there's that real kind of private jokey thing that I don't feel like every country has. That's a privilege and a luxury. The other thing is how, do you remember for the 2012 Jubilee, the Olympic kickoff, the Queen did that sketch with Daniel Craig. Like, that is so cool. Like there's that sort of kind of self-deprecating humour thing.
100%.
That
which is so, you're so right, that is so unique to Brits and would really miss that.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think that's those things stick in my mind as like a lovely thing about being British. We've got to talk about the Spice Girls. Like, British music is obviously so... I always think that it's super cool how we're just like this really small country, yet the talent that we produce and the musical talent that we produce is so, you know, from the Beatles to Adeola to Ed Sheeran, you know, like across all decades, you know, just have been really seismic. And like the Spice Girls, obviously, I think particularly for our generation, are kind of the pinnacle of that. And there's something so British about them. Like,
oh my God, 100%.
It's not just the Union Jack dress. It's the whole thing.
Yeah, something about like when I hear the opening bit of any of their songs, and it like sends shivers down.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
exactly what you mean.
Like, and like if you think again about the Olympics, like everything British, people, you know, they have had like a really key part in over the last few decades. And there's the David Beckham connection, you know. David Beckham's left foot, David Beckham's right foot. You know, it's all just so British, and that I love. And then I've got to give a shout out to Pizza Express as well.
Your favourite.
I love Pizza Express because, again, it's a bit like caterpillar cake. There's no Pizza Express equivalent. Like, it's a very unique taste and flavour. You can't get that anywhere else. When I went on my gap year, I was away for 9 months and
find it.
Came back and had my first date with Ben like within that week, and we went to Pizza Express because I was like, I'm gagging. Literally gagging for Pizza Express. You can't replicate that.
No, you can't. And you can also always find a voucher.
Somewhere,
which is
because it actually is much more expensive than it should be.
Well, they brought back that £5 margarita. What? I know. Do you remember there's like a really nostalgic advert, and it's like it's 19.99, and you're, I don't know, watching something on your black and white TV, and then you go and get your £5 voucher. Life is good. Like it's Okay.
Actually, I remember we used to go, and this was back in the days when I wasn't a vegetarian, and I swear it was like $4.95 or something. Yeah. And then you get a side of chicken. I think I'd really beat the system that I've got like a chicken pizza without paying for a chicken pizza.
We need to talk about chicken pizza after this, okay? But also I think it's $9.99 now thinking about it. Okay. Maybe it's a margarita and some dough balls for $9.99. Delicious.
I do
Dream
love that garlic butter.
Yeah, those dough balls.
Oh man, that is. I could literally just spoon the garlic butter.
Yeah,
that's gorgeous.
That with some
very really focused.
Some what?
And obviously scones and tea.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Scones and tea. So I'm going to let's dig in a little bit. We will move on to the next thing, but we can't without sampling some things. This was your specific request, the Rodders clotted cream.
Yeah, you cannot have a cream tea without Rodders clotted cream.
It is the clotted cream for me, isn't it? Let's get
it. It is.
What do you like, P?
I might have. Yeah, I might have scone.
Which do you go first?
There we go.
Cream or jam?
So strong.
Absolutely cream. I don't understand why you do jam first. It's just not. It's not tidy.
Yeah, it's not tidy. Where do you stand? You're the opposite.
Wait, sorry. What did you
cream
say?
Or jam? Cream or jam first?
I'm cream first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just like.
I agree. Much tidier.
Like, wait, are these jam first people? I feel like I don't know you at all.
No, it's a Devon Cornwall thing.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, I'm going to let them tuck in. You don't need to sit and watch us eat a load of food, but I'm very excited to get involved. Thanks so much, both. That was really fun. Next up, it is the very stylish Danielle Lazenis, proving Reiss really does have you covered, whatever events you have on the horizon this summer. Thank you so much, Danielle. That backless dress is insane. Such a good edit. Next up is Adeola with all the tips to make sure your makeup looks flawless from morning to night. So welcome, Stephen, to your SheerLuxe In Conversation podcast. Lovely to have you.
I think when I reflect on my early years, I think about the factors that shaped my character the most. That's just a philosophy we have, and not everybody has that philosophy. They're definitely not the innovators, the pioneers. They're not the number ones. Definitely being the blackest and brokest kid in my area created a huge sense of a huge desire and a huge sort of underlying belief that I would be happier and more fulfilled if I had money and I fit in more.
I want to ask you about quitting, because you've got a whole chapter on that in your book, Happy Sexy Millionaire.
I quit completely out of the blue one day, and here I am now. Even when I was at Social Chain, people would always ask me the question, when are you going to quit Social Chain? And I'm sure whatever I'm doing now, at some point I will quit too, probably.
Do you think you can learn to kind of have that mentality, or do you think that's innate?
I don't know. That's a really interesting question.
What do you think the biggest risk you've taken in your career has been?
I know what people would perceive it as being, but then it really wasn't a risk, because the risk would have been staying in a miserable situation, I guess.
Sounds like you're going to be a busy guy. Stephen, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Charlotte. Appreciate it.
Hey guys, Adeola here, beauty contributor for SheerLuxe. With the promise of warmer weather, which we all love, one of the things that we must contend with is the fact that our makeup doesn't last as long. And so I'm going to be sharing with you my top tips and my favorite must-have products that I swear by to help keep your makeup on for longer. Now, my first recommendation is to invest in a primer. A primer is a really key factor because it helps to create a barrier between your skin and makeup and really helps to give you that flawless base before your makeup application. I love this one by Fenty Beauty. This is the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. This is a universal primer that works whether you've got oily skin, normal to dry skin. I've got more of a normal to combination skin. I have a few open pores on my cheeks, but if I come closely, you can just see how it just helps to kind of give me that soft matte finish. It's also oil-free, which is very important. I tend to go for an oil-free foundation, and I love to kind of pair that with an oil-free primer, and that will give me that perfect canvas for makeup. Look at the difference on either side. My next tip is to choose the right formula. So for example, if you're looking for a long-lasting foundation, tend to go for those that will say long wear. This one by Estee Lauder is one of my favorites at the moment. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer formula. So basically it's a lighter version of their cult favorite Double Wear foundation. Now what I love about this is that it's still giving you that same great long-lasting benefit, but in a lightweight formulation that's sheer. It goes on so beautifully, blends in. I love that you've got skincare benefits. It's got hyaluronic acid in there as well. It's oil controlling, so it's really good if you are someone like myself that tends to be on the oilier side. It just feels so lightweight, and the finish of it is absolutely stunning. If you have areas of pigmentation that you want to conceal, then one of my tips is to apply a lightweight foundation and then go in with a concealer and add more coverage when you need it or where you need it. And what's great is that Estee Lauder also do a double wear concealer, which again has that long lasting benefit, and you can apply this on certain areas that you want to conceal. And I really love the fact that I've got that lightweight base on, but I can still add a little bit of coverage and not feel like I'm wearing too much makeup. Next up, I would always recommend to use a setting powder. Now, what I really love is this one by Laura Mercier. This is their translucent powder, which is an iconic powder. I've used it for many years in my kit. They've got a variation of shades. I love to use the shade Translucent Honey. And my top tip is actually to use it with a fluffy brush. I'm not somebody that loves to kind of apply powder everywhere. I think that that can make the skin look quite flat. Literally just pat the powder in the areas that I want to set. I tend to leave my cheekbones free because that's where I'm going to apply a bit of highlighter. So I'm doing what we call like a stippling motion. It's like a press and roll motion. If you're applying it using the technique that I'm showing you, you're going to get a really lovely flawless application. Can you see the difference already just by applying it? Now another tip is also to use a powder puff. Now Laura Mercier do their own version, and this is a really great technique that I've seen a lot of celebrity makeup artists use. It's the press and roll technique, but with the powder puff. This is also a great technique if you are particularly oily or you tend to get quite shiny. Now when it comes to eye makeup, I think a lot of people struggle to find formulas that stay on all day. I've got a few of my favorite products here that I swear by if you're looking for those quick, instant results, but also are super long wearing. The first thing that I'm going to show you is the cream shadow stick from Bobbi Brown. I swear by these are so quick and easy to use. All you need to do is just swipe on the eye and go. Talk about instant smoky eye. This is in the shade Bark, one of my favorite shades. I love that they're creams, they're able to kind of smooth and glide over the eye. I then also love to use a long wear gel eyeliner. Now these are brand new from Hourglass, and what I love is that they're self-sharpening, so all you do is you twist the bottom, they glide on effortlessly. So all I'm doing now is I'm just drawing that across the lash line, and then using a small brush I'm just going to blend that through. Now my tip with applying eyeliners and gel pencils that you don't have to be perfect with the application. Just really focus on getting right in between the lash line, and they're also waterproof. Amazing. So all I'm doing now is using a pencil brush just to smoke out the eyeshadow and the eyeliner. It just gives this really beautiful diffuse effect. I also love to use a waterproof mascara. This one is by Lancome. It's called the Lash Adeola mascara. And this is a waterproof variation that actually claims to give you up to 24-hour wear. I love to look down into a compact mirror. That way I'm able to tilt my head back and get right underneath and get every single lash from its roots all the way to the tip. If you find that mascara tends to kind of drop down throughout the day, this is a great mascara for you to try. Now, if you're somebody that loves a cream blush or cream bronzer, one thing I would say is that if I'm looking for that long-lasting wear, I tend to switch over to powder formulations. So I love to use a powdered bronzer and a powdered blush. And what I love to do is apply these on the areas that I need to. So for example, with my bronzer, the top of the forehead, just underneath my cheekbones, and then down onto my jawline, just to add a bit of warmth to my skin. If you do love to use a cream product, then what you can do is apply those first and then layer it over with a powder afterwards. It's actually a blush from Bare Minerals. It's called Peachy Keen, one of my favorites. Just goes on so beautifully as well. So I'm just pressing that onto the cheek area and then blending upwards. And I know that this is actually going to last me throughout the day. I love a setting spray. I really feel like they make a difference and they just make your makeup sit really beautifully. One of my favorites is one by Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I love the mist. It's not too much. It just goes on really lovely. I just spray it over my skin at the end. I really feel like it really helps to lock all my makeup in place. It's also got a great 16-hour wear claim as well, and it just gives the skin this really lovely, flawless look to your makeup. Now, if you're like me and you tend to perspire throughout the day, you can get quite hot. It's not something that you would probably expect, but it's one of my favorite things to help my makeup last longer, and that is a portable fan. Yes, you heard me right, a portable fan. Especially when I'm going out and about, if I'm on the tube. Tubes are notoriously really warm, so I love to have this portable fan. This is by Nimya, who's actually owned by Nikki Tutorials, who's an amazing makeup artist. This is perfect, so cooling, and you will thank me later when you get one of these and you have it in your handbag, and it just really helps to keep your makeup in place. Well, I hope that you guys have enjoyed me sharing with you my top tips and my favorite products to help keep your makeup on for longer. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Bye.
Thank you so much, Adeola. I could listen to you for hours. That waterproof eyeliner is a game changer. Finally today, if the sudden appearance of the sun has made you want to mix up your dinners, Sommer Pyne is here with 3 delicious, super quick salads that are just as good served with a simple glass of rosé as a big old barbecue. But before that, let us introduce you to a new shopping platform we love.
Let us introduce you to WeShop. The new shopping platform that allows you to earn shares every time you shop. How does it work? First, download the app using SheerLuxe as your referral code. Once you're in, you can follow your friends, favourite brands and tastemakers, just like on all other social media platforms. Make sure you encourage your friends to join and follow you too. It will come in handy later. Once you're all set up, head to the Discovery tab, where you'll see your favourite retailers, from Net-a-Porter and H&M to Selfridges and ASOS. Simply click through to shop your existing wishlist via the platform. And then, and here's the fun bit, complete your purchase as normal. And the WeShop shares you've earned will be automatically added to your account. If you spent £100, you'll earn £20 back in shares. You don't only earn shares when you buy something on WeShop. Every WeShop member has a profile where you can build your portfolio and tell people about something beautiful you found, or share the purchase you're really excited about. For example, whether it's a new diptyque candle from Space NK, a chunky chain bracelet from Monica Vinader, or a spring dress from Mango. You can upload a picture of it onto your grid with a link directly to the product. It's called a recommendation. And if one of your followers buys it, you earn shares. Introduce your friends to the platform and you'll also be rewarded. You'll receive 1% of the value the new member spends on the platform when they use your handle as a referral code, which you can then cash in if you wish, or continue to save and build your share portfolio. Social media meets online shopping and a simple way to grow your savings. In one handy, fun platform. WeShop. Why wouldn't you?
Hi, I'm Summer and today I'm going to share my top 3 salads for barbecue season. So let's get started. So the first salad I'm going to make today is a superfood salad, and I think it's from the main man himself, Jamie Oliver. I've just added a few little bits and bobs. I've made this for many years now, and everybody's always asking, can you always make that superfood salad? And actually, this is a meal in itself. Okay, so first of all, you need to put your oven on 190, and then I've just chopped and peeled some sweet potato. I put them into bite-sized chunks. And to this, we're going to add some chili flakes, cumin, and ground coriander. And we're going to put some salt, lots of delicious salt, pepper, and then to this we're just going to add a drizzle of olive oil. Add that. Don't be shy, get your hands dirty, and you just want to make sure everything is covered. And then this will go into the oven on 190 for about 20 to 30 minutes. You kind of want it to be caramelized and slightly browning on the edges. So that is ready to go. I'm going to pop that in the oven. Oven's nice and hot, we're just going to put it in. So the sweet potatoes in the oven cooking away, we're going to get onto the salad dressing. I'm going to do the salad dressing straight into the bowl. Now, you might think there's a lot of steps to this recipe, but you can prep everything the night before, and that's what I usually do. So the way I deal with the pomegranate is I cut it in half. It can be a bit messy, especially if you've got white on. And I'm just going to squeeze that, and that all the juices should come out. Some of the little seeds might come out too, that's absolutely fine. Here's the next one. So to that, we're going to add 3 times the amount of olive oil. So just going to add that in like that. I'm going to add some balsamic vinegar for a bit of sweetness. And then we're going to add some lime. Like that. I think a whole lime would be good. Of course, we're going to add some seasoning, so a bit of salt, not too much, pepper, and I am going to give that a little bit of a whisk, get all the flavors together. We're going to add the chili. We're going to add the coriander. I've added some radishes as well, which I really love, and again, I'm into my rustic cooking. I've cut them quite roughly, but I like leaving the little stems on. I just think that looks really sweet, so I'm going to add that in. We're going to add the quinoa, so that should be enough. Okay, we're also going to add to that some broccoli. Just chop the broccoli and then steamed it for 3 minutes. And then I'm going to add a mixture of mixed beans. So there's so much protein in this. It's really rich in fiber. It's such a healthy meal. Okay, and so here's the sweet potato. I've just removed that from the pan, but that's all nicely cooked as well. So I'm going to add that in. So I'm also going to add some baby spinach leaves. So now all we need to do is toss this together. So we just want to try and get all of the juices through the salad. Now we're going to just add the layers. I'm gonna add some feta cheese. I'm just gonna crumble that through on top. All right, and then we are going to add some avocado. I'm just gonna scoop out the avocado. So it's just gonna be like that. And then to this, I'm going to add a punnet of watercress. That looks nice. You can add some micro greens as well, which I might just add. Okay, so the pomegranate seeds, what you need to do is you can either just do it straight into the dish, which I'm gonna do now. So you just get the pomegranate and then you tap the back like that, and all the seeds should come loose. Let's have a look. Oh yes, look. And then you just sprinkle them on top. I would then just grab a lime, maybe do a little splash of lime around. You can leave that in there. And that, my friends, is the super salad that you are gonna love this summer. So this salad is a sweet potato with tahini dressing. It's super simple and super delicious. So what I've done here is I've just peeled and cut into wedges the sweet potato, and all I'm going to add to this is some salt. I've also lined the baking tray as well. I'm gonna add some salt and some olive oil and pepper, and that's it. The flavors actually come through the dressing, which I'll get onto in a minute. And again, you just want to make sure it's all covered so it cooks evenly. And I'm just going to use my hands, it's the best way to do it. Okay, I think that just about does it. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that in the oven. And now we'll get on to the rest of it. Okay, so these have been in the oven for about 20 minutes, and at this stage, I'm just gonna add some purple onion or Spanish onion, depending where you come from. I'm gonna add that to the tray, and we just want that to kind of crisp up and go golden. I'm just gonna put that throughout. So what you'll be left with eventually is that the onion will be nice and caramelized. We'll get the sweetness through the sweet potato, and then when we add that tahini dressing, it's gonna be amazing. Right, so I'm gonna pop that back in the oven. Okay, so I've just taken the sweet potato out. You can see it's sort of nice and caramelized. Also the onions are caramelized. And then we're simply gonna just plate up and make the dressing. So I might just make the dressing first and then we can bring it all together. So, bowl, tahini, love tahini. A few good dollops of that. We're gonna add 1 lemon. And then I'm just gonna add a bit of garlic, and that's really it. You can actually, if you wanted to, you could do this in a food processor. So we just mix that up now until we get a smooth paste. Also just add a little bit of water so that it becomes a bit more like a dressing. So we're just gonna do that. I'm gonna use our mussels. We're gonna add some salt and pepper. We gotta get our seasoning in there. And that's it. That's all there is to it. It feels like it's too simple to taste any good, but I promise you, I'll have this for dinner tonight because, yeah, I'm going meat-free tonight. So grab a platter, and we're gonna add baby spinach, a bed of baby spinach. And then we're gonna grab our sweet potato. This isn't so hot anymore. And I'm just going to place that on top, like so. And now all we're going to do is top with the tahini dressing. And again, you just drizzle it over like that. And just before you serve, you would toss it so that everything's nice and covered. I actually can't believe something so simple tastes so good, but I promise you, and that, my friends, is the sweet potato and tahini salad. Okay, so my next salad is a very simple salad, but it's got a twist because we're adding a harissa dressing, which is to die for. And the harissa dressing is something that you can also just put on the side, and you can use it for meats or fish. It's really versatile. So the first thing we're gonna do is grab some tomatoes and chop them up. I've just got a combination of some yellow, small cherry tomatoes and larger tomatoes. Again, I am just one of those kind of cooks that likes to cook a bit rustic, so I will just chop roughly the tomatoes in different sizes and shapes, and you've got the different colours coming through, which I think is always lovely on a summer table. And I'm just going to keep filling that up until the plate's full. Okay, so tomatoes are done, and I'm just going to put them to the side. And now we're going to get onto the harissa sauce, which is what really makes this dish. Okay, so I'm going to add the jalapenos, the shallots. I've got 2 shallots, 1 garlic, and 1 chili. You could add another chili if you wanted to be really spicy, but I think this gives it a nice kick. And of course, as you go on, you're going to taste it and add if need be. So I'm going to add my lemon. Just make sure you don't get any pips in there. And you need a good glug of olive oil. So we're going to put that in. There we go. All right, so I've got my tomatoes that I chopped up earlier, and to this I'm just going to start layering. It's all about the layering. So I thought we'd add some Spanish onion. So I'm just going to cut this very thinly. You can cut it in half. And then we're just going to put that on. At this stage, I'm just going to add a little bit of lemon juice over the tomatoes and onion, like so. A little bit of salt. A good glug of extra virgin olive oil. And now I'm going to add the burrata. So again, I'm just going to rip this apart because I want it to feel quite rustic, and I'm just going to layer it over the tomatoes. And then to this, we are just going to add the harissa. I'm just going to dab that sort of on top and let it sort of fall. If you wanted to be really fancy, you could add some edible flowers, but I couldn't get hold of any. So I've got some microgreens I'm just going to put on top. And I think that just makes it look really beautiful. A little bit of olive oil again. Don't be shy. So there you have it. That is my tomato salad with green harissa. I hope you enjoyed that. These are my 3 top summer salads that you need for barbecue season. All the recipe details below, and I will see you guys next time. Enjoy the sunshine.
Thank you, Sommer. They all look so good. I might have to give that a go this weekend. I will let you know how it goes. All right, that is it for today. Thank you so much to Danielle, Adeola, Sommer, and of course, Polly and Lou. We're having a break next week for the Jubilee celebrations, but we will be back the following week with a bang. In the meantime, we would love it if you could comment below, give us a thumbs up, and do subscribe if you haven't yet. Have a wonderful day wherever you are. Bye-bye.